Hey guys, this is Jessica Gutierrez with Clean With Me podcast. This is a podcast where I walk you through cleaning your house step by step. So let's clean together. Hey everybody, it's Sunday. This is going to be our Sunday 20-minute mini episode, and I'm going to do an outer area 20-minute clean today. So what I mean by outer area, which is a term my mom coined, or she uses, the kitchen and living areas, and we're going to do a load of laundry. That's, I know Sunday is usually like a lazy day, so that's what we're going to do today. In my house anyway, everyone's different, but Saturday is more my all-day cleaning day, and then Sunday is more of like a lazy minimalist day. So, but every day I have to clean my outer areas, and this is also going to be a good episode for if you have to go somewhere, maybe before you go to work. It would be a good episode to watch, because the outer areas is something you have to maintain every day in your house. I know that's not always possible, but it's pretty much something that's very much needed to clean your outer areas daily. I know in my house they get trashed every day, and I probably have to clean my outer areas 5 times in a day. Whatever your ritual is, whether that's getting ready for the day, throwing your hair up in a bun, lighting a candle gets you motivated, or opening the windows and letting some light into your house gets you motivated. Maybe it's just getting the kids on an activity if you have kids, and drinking a nice coffee. Just whatever it is you do that gets you going, gets you motivated, gets you in a cleaning mood. If it's just turning on the podcast, then you're already on your way and you're ready to go. So let's get to cleaning. First things first, I like to do a lot of laundry on Sundays. So if you can and you have laundry, which you probably do, go ahead and put in a load of laundry, do a laundry switch. Put your clothes from the washer to the dryer, if there's some in there, in your dryer to a laundry basket for after the episode to fold, and then just go ahead and put a load of laundry in the washer. If you're having a lazy day, you can just put a load of towels in, that way you don't have too much to fold after. And if not, if you just have some clothes you need washed, just go ahead and wash whatever you need to. And I mentioned before, the kids, the babies, if you have babies like I do, they like to help, or just littles, they like to help with this. Usually, they always want to help me do the laundry. I let them push the laundry into the dryer, or hand me the dirty clothes to put into the washer. That's like their favorite chore to do. If I just go towards the vicinity of the laundry area, my kids are like, I want to do the laundry. So that's a fun thing for the littles to help you with. And then whenever you're done with the laundry switch, whenever you finish that up, go ahead and make your way onto the kitchen, and we're going to start doing the dishes. And this is only going to be a 20-minute episode, so if it takes you the entire episode to do your dishes, that's completely normal and fine. If it takes you the whole hour episode to do your dishes, sometimes it's completely fine. Everyone has those days. I know I have those days more times than I can count. So if you have a dishaster, if you have dishes everywhere, then, just be working on that your whole episode. And if you get that completely finished, then that's great. And that's, all you have to do is just a quick pickup of your outer areas after the episode, and you're good to go. But go ahead to your drying rack if you hand wash like I do, or if you have a dishwasher, go ahead and unload your dishwasher and make room for those dishes that you're going to wash. And I had mentioned before, I added an extra step to my dish cleaning because I have trouble keeping up with my refrigerator usually. Like, stuff gets out of hand in my refrigerator all the time with like leftovers and whatnot. So when I start to do the dishes, I added an extra step. If you if this is overwhelming to you, or maybe you just don't need this, then just disregard it. But I like to look inside my refrigerator and look and see if there's anything old or that needs to be washed that's in my refrigerator, and wash it while I'm in the dish mode, because once I'm not doing the dishes anymore, then I get kind of unmotivated and I don't really feel like cleaning out my refrigerator. So I just added that extra step for me, because otherwise it just won't get done, and I just look at my refrigerator and get anything out that needs to be cleaned out of there so I could just knock it out. But if you don't have to do that, then when you're done putting all the dishes away, just go do a once over of your house and get any dishes, any stragglers around the house, whether they're in the room or the living area, or maybe you have like a water glass near your bed or something like that. Also, if you have big kids, if you have teenagers at home, I know it's Sunday and also it's the summer. So if you have any big kids, you could tell them to round up the dishes. That's a good delegation chore. But once you have them all rounded up, go ahead and start rinsing off your dishes. If you have any, get all the food off your dishes first. That's a good first step, so that's because the main reason everyone hates the dishes is because sometimes it's just kind of funky. And like I mentioned in the last episode, my mom gave me the tip that if you fill up the sink with soapy hot water while you're cooking, ready for it to do the dishes, and you could put those pans in the soapy water just right after you're done cooking with them. That will, motivate you to wash them, and also just make sure nothing gets baked on and stuck on there. I have started doing this and it does help me. And once they're already in the dishwater, I just, think to myself, well, might as well just go ahead and rinse it off and just get it out of the sink and over with. And it really has helped me, kind of keep up with the dishes a little bit more. But anyway, whether you have a garbage disposal or you're just throwing the food outside or scraping it off outside or in the trash can, whatever you do, go ahead and get all the food off the dishes and just do a quick rinse of all the dishes you have, or just the really bad ones if you have a lot of dishes. That way it makes it a little less daunting, all of the, funky dishes if they don't have food on them. And then get to washing, whether you prefer to, if you just have a few dishes and you just want to wash them under running water with your sponge or rag or whatever you use. I use my little sponge soap dispenser with the changeable sponge heads. And I, fill up my sink with hot water and just put a little bit in there at a time, especially if I have a lot of dishes. I start with the silverware and cups. I start with the cups first because you don't want those, in funky water or whatever first, or with grease on them. So I do the cups first, and then I do silverware, and then I do plates and bowls, and then I do my pots and pans because those, are the greasiest. So just be chugging along on your dishes, and while you're doing the dishes, I'll just give you a quick update on my life. If you're interested, my foot, I went to the doctor and they ended up putting a boot on it, and it's been a game changer for me. The last episode I was still struggling to get around and using a walker, and my children did not like that, and it was a pain because I have 2 babies and it was not easy to get around, and it was really difficult. But with this boot, I can actually walk on it and I'm getting around. I'm not supposed to be on my feet a lot because it does hurt and ache and get swollen if I do stay on my feet too long. And I'll admit I'm staying on my feet a little more than I'm supposed to, but it does not hurt that much, and I'm able to actually walk on it with the boot, even though I'm not necessarily supposed to. But this doctor had a different opinion than the first doctor. She said that the way it broke, if it broke a little lower, that I would have needed surgery, but where it broke, that she doesn't think it's in danger of moving, and the boot is all I need in her opinion. So I'm going with it because I didn't want a hard cast, necessarily because I heard those are terrible. And with the boot, I can actually take it off and wash my foot and everything, so it's like 1,000 times better than a cast. I'm super happy with it. If you follow me on my socials, you saw that I bedazzled it and put stickers on it, but I'm really happy to have that instead of a cast, which, are itchy and funky, and then you can't wash your foot or anything. And while you're doing the dishes and you're in dish mode, just a side note, look for little other things that may need to be washed with your dishes, like maybe the little glass insert that goes into your microwave. Maybe that needs to be washed. Or maybe you have like appliances that need to be washed, like if you used your Instapot, if you have one of those, or crock pot or anything like that. Don't forget to check those if you need to wash those parts, or maybe like your Keurig parts or something need to be washed, or any kind of kitchen appliance, juicer, whatever you have. And I mentioned before, you can boil the parts if you have little parts of like a kitchen appliance that is hard to clean, or bottles or whatever. You can just boil those in a pot of water to sanitize them. Or if you have something that's really baked on, the trick that I just learned about, boiling some water with like 4 tablespoons of salt in it will get up any gunk if you have like a pan with food crusted on there or burnt on there, that the salt is a good way to get that crusted on food off. And this is just a speed clean quick episode, so I'm going to start talking about wiping down, but it's only been, 12 minutes, so if you're not done with your... And this is a speed cleaning episode, so I'm going to move on to wiping down and talk about that, but it's only been 12 minutes, so if you're not done with your dishes, like I said, if you need to use the whole 20 minutes to do your dishes, that's usually around the time I give you to do your dishes on a regular episode. So if you have a normal amount of dishes or a lot of dishes and you need the whole episode, that's completely fine and normal. Just remember the things that I'm saying and then just do like a quick wipe down and pick up when the episode is over. Or if you just want to, do the bare minimum, or if you just had a few dishes and you want to go ahead and do everything I'm saying, that's fine. Just whatever you prefer. I think that if you have a lot of dishes, you should just work on getting those done before you move on, because those are the dishes are what gets funky and gross if you leave it out. So I would just go ahead and finish your dishes if need be. But I'm just going to talk about wiping down. If you are done with your dishes, or when you get done with your dishes, go ahead and just do a thorough wipe down after you pick up everything that doesn't belong. Just quickly be putting everything in its place. If there's anything that needs to go in another room, go ahead and do that. If there's anything just sitting on your countertop that needs to be quickly put away, you could do that, or on your kitchen table, dining room table. I know things tend to catch on my dining room table that shouldn't be there, so I always have to do this because I have a small house and not much surface area, so people always set things on my dining room table. And then once you're done with that, go ahead and do a thorough wiping down just very quickly. Grab your trusty Clorox wipes or your rag with just soap and water, hot water and soap, and go ahead and just wipe down maybe behind the faucet, because stuff might get behind there, behind the sink, and then get around and under all of your kitchen appliances, and just thoroughly wipe down your countertops, your kitchen table, your stove top, if you have those cages on your stove, if you have like a gas stove or just a electric stove with cages. Make sure you take those off and just do a thorough wipe down of your stove. Make sure you get behind the stove, on the wall behind the stove, because sometimes there's grease splatter if you cook a lot, or if you don't. And your microwave, quickly wipe down your microwave. This is a speed cleaning episode, so you might not be able to get to everything just quickly. Just wipe down as much as you can. If you see any problem areas on your fridge, any splatters on your fridge or your cabinets while you're wiping down, go ahead and hit those areas too. Just very quickly, just be wiping everything down. And then when you're done with that, we're going to quickly run to the outer areas because this is just a quick speed clean episode. So if you're not done with that, that's okay. You could finish that, but I'm going to start talking about the living areas because we only have a few more minutes to go. So move on to your living areas and just get those major focal points of the room. Get your couches, fix your cushions. This is a speed cleaning episode, so we're not going to look under the cushions or under the couch. We're just going to go ahead and fix those cushions really quick, make it look nice. If it's a cloth couch, then if you just need to do a quick spot clean of it, if there's like a problem area, or if you have like a leather couch, you can just wipe it down real quick, but just fix your pillows and make that look nice, and then just quickly pick up anything that's out of place in the room, any toys, anything accumulated on a coffee table. If you have stuff that's on a coffee table that needs to be put up, you could do that now, end tables, stuff like that. Go ahead and quickly put everything away. I always have a bunch of toys. That got better once I moved the toy box out of the living area and just kind of consolidated the amount of toys that I leave outside in the outer areas, because I thought to myself, like, okay, why am I doing this to myself? Why do I have a giant toy box filled with 1,000 toys that they dump out every 5 seconds? I should probably just bring out a smaller amount of toys when they're playing, and then they'll just dump those out, and then I'll be less cleanup for me. See, I don't know why I do things like that to myself. Like, it took me a long time to realize that, hey, I don't have to give them 1,000 toys every time they play. I could just give them a handful of items that I know they're going to play with. So just be quickly picking up. When I'm doing a speed clean, this may not be a priority for you, but my TV stand gets really like fingerprinty and funky because of the kids, so I have to wipe that down and my TV whenever I'm doing a speed clean, just because it's very noticeable. But everyone's living areas are different, everyone's priorities are different, so just do whatever are the problem areas in your living area, whether that's your entryway, whether you have to fix a rug or just make your entryway look nice. That's the first thing people see, so you might need to fix something in your entryway. I have a shoe rack next to my front door because my husband likes to put his shoes by the door. That's how he was raised. And my children, mangle that up sometimes. So a lot of times when I'm doing an outer areas pickup, I'll have to rearrange the shoes and just fix them a little bit while I'm picking up. If you have big kids, this would be a good delegation chore for them to just pick up the living areas while you oversee it, because there might be some things that, they might not think of doing that you will, depending on their age. Or even if you have littles, you could have them pick up their toys. Juliana, my 3-year-old, started saying, "I'm tired, Mom," whenever I tell her to do something, so she is hilarious and bad. But anyway, I know we didn't have much time. It was just a quick little straightening, speed cleaning episode. So if you were working on your dishes this entire time, you could go ahead and do your outer areas now. Or if you're still not done, just go ahead and knock those out. If that's all you get done today, that's great. At least you don't have to think about that. And that's the main thing you have to do before you leave the house, because that's the thing that can, get funky and dirty. If you would like to do a quick floor clean of the problem areas, or a quick vacuum, or a quick sweeping of your house right now, you can go ahead and do that. I'll remind you to do that. Now, if you need to pull out your clothes, they're probably not quite done yet, but when they get done, don't forget to fold those when the dryer's finished, or move those over to the dryer. And if you're not following my Facebook page, Clean With Me Podcast on Facebook, and Clean With Me Podcast on Instagram, you could follow those. Also, I have a Patreon. I will put the link of that in the comments. I just post little personal things about my life, and I'm sending out stickers currently for my supporters. So if that's something you'd be interested in, I'll put the link in the description. And then also I have an art page. I do custom portraits and vans and stuff like that on the side. and that is at Jessica's Custom Work on Facebook and Instagram, all lowercase, at Jessica's Custom Work on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm really happy you guys did this speed cleaning with me, and as always, happy cleaning!